that scene. Wow.
Isn't that the hotel we stayed at in Amsterdam?
What was that called?
Omega. Hotel Omega. Yeah, look, there's the tram we took.
Wow, and look at that actress over there.
Isn't that the Black Swan ballerina?
No. I've seen her somewhere before, though.
I just got a message. They're gonna come visit. They're gonna come for True False. That's awesome.
Tell your mother to shut the up.
Welcome to Inside Little Glenny Boys Studio. Tonight, LGB continues his unending quest to discover the extraordinary power of filmmaking, storytelling, acting, television revelations and revolutions, all through the eyes of one, Jeff Leroy Raymond. Through thought-provoking questions, inquisitive queries, and heartfelt rebuttals, Lil Glenny Boy takes one step further into the mind of a movie master and television sensei. Join us, won't you?
All right, Jeff. First question on the docket today, inside Glenny Boy Studio. If you're in a movie theater and you're sitting next to a group of pests, or it could just be one person, is it more annoying to you if they are talking, eating loudly, squirming, or texting?
Talking is the cardinal sin. Texting comes a close second. Eating, I don't care, unless they're making sex noises when they eat.
Some people eat like hogs, though. You know that.
Yeah. That's when they're making noise when they eat. But yeah, most of the time, the act of eating doesn't bother me, as you can tell.
Okay.
I'm getting a few good licks myself.
Well, you when you worked at Cinema 1 and 2, did you have any trouble with any people gabbing during the films?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I worked in the daytime, and that's when the old people came. And old people are trouble in the theater. It's like anarchy. Yeah, they'll just start yelling out whatever they feel like, and we have to tell them to shut up. And we would. Shut up. But he's smoking. But I can't hear him smoke.
That's right. Cinema 1 and 2, you guys had smoking. Was it smoking throughout the whole theater or just like in the balcony?
No smoking in Cinema 2 because it was smaller. It was a small enough theater that it was against the law. There wasn't an actual, big enough to have an actual separate section. In Cinema 1, it was smoking in the balcony.
I'll stick to the balcony, my friend. Even as a kid, I always liked to go to the balcony, and when I didn't smoke and I wasn't on a date, but I knew that's where the action happened. And
Absolutely.
I like to see it all go down. All right, Jeff, so question number 2 inside Little Glenny Boy Studio. Which film director do you think is the most underrated and deserves more recognition?
Ooh. Okay. This is terrible because of my advanced age. I can't remember his name right now, but he does these kind of crazy comedies like Old School and Road Trip and, movies like that. But then he also does these really good political movies. Like he did the one about Sarah Palin starring Julianne Moore, and he did one about LBJ with Bryan Cranston. And then he did that wonderful political comedy with Will Ferrell.
The Campaign.
Yeah,
you wish you got that one.
Where he punches that little baby in the face.
You know what? Actually, have a baby. I need to kiss. Like that's my baby to kiss.
You know, excuse me, please.
Oh, you don't take a swing at my hair. You will.
Yes, Jay Roach.
All right, so Jay
That's
Roach.
his name. So yeah, Jay Roach is one of the most underrated directors.
He's doing pretty good for himself.
He's doing very good.
Do you think he's still underrated, though?
Yes, and I couldn't remember his name, but that's just because I'm old and feeble. That has nothing to do with his stature.
Yeah.
That has to do with my marijuana intake and and decrepitude as the years roll by.
Okay, Jeff. Question number 3. What's the most memorable film score you've ever heard, and how did it enhance your viewing experience?
Ooh. Wow. That's a tough one. Because there have been some real beauts over the years. God, this is so cliche though. But I would have to say The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Because I was young when I saw that. And the first time I was probably 9 or 10. And I had just never heard anything like that. You know, with that. Wow, 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 you know, all that, and that, you know, and just all the sound and the fury coming off that screen. You know, that was sit up and pay attention. You know, music is sat up and paid attention to. And then I think the first time I saw the movie Suspiria, the music was amazing. And not the least because they had the volume turned way up.
Yeah.
Way up to where your ears practically bled. And it was, you know.
That's when a theater experience is worth it, when there's great sound, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That you can't experience at home, you know, unless you're some kind of douche with 12 speakers around your head, you know.
Shit switch.
All right, Jeff. What about TV, like Twin Peaks and
yes.
TV series? Anything come to mind as far as music?
Yes.
Cinematic soundtracks?
Yes. Since you mentioned it, Twin Peaks had just one of the most beautiful and mysterious. And yeah, that was really something. Twin Peaks.
It added to the creep factor for sure.
It really did. And the beauty though, too. The beauty factor. It was so nice. I know as a little boy, I just went apeshit over the Andrew Griffith show. Where they whistle.
The theme song, yeah.
Yeah, and they're walking out of the fishing hole.
Hey, we don't want a copyright strike, Jeff.
So what?
We don't want a copyright strike.
Yeah, no. I
Good thing you can't whistle. You whistle. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Next question. What's the best film adaptation of a book you've ever seen, and did it do the book justice? Well, if it's the best film adaptation, obviously it did the book justice. So what's the best film adaptation of a book you've ever seen?
It's probably Rosemary's Baby. It was pretty damn close. Yeah, the way the book was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be it.
Leave it at that. Okay, moving on then.
Moving on.
What's the best car to go to a drive-in theater in?
Well, I mean, you'd think it would be convertible, but we used to go, like, when I had my blue Pinto, that was a great one because you could pull in backwards to the thing, you know, because it's on an angle. You park on the
What has like a hatchback?
And it had a hatchback.
Yeah.
And then we would just take the seats and tip them all the way forward. And then we would get in the back and lean on these seats. So you were in a sitting position, but you weren't in an upright.
Was a Gremlin a hatchback too?
I don't know.
Did you ever have those?
We never had a Gremlin.
You never had a Gremlin? Because the exploding Pinto, I remember that. I think they're very similar. And the Chevette too. You know, cheap cars that kids in high school had.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the most iconic film villain you've ever seen, and what makes them so memorable?
Oh my God, I love villains the best. Let's see. Ooh, narrowing those down. My favorite villains. God, that's hard. I love a good villain like that really, really enjoys it. You know, they delight in being a villain. And he wasn't the best at all, but it was the best line.
Yeah.
And there's this weird, like, low budget movie from the 80s with Molly Ringwald called Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. And she's been captured by the villain, and she has to run this like gauntlet, this like obstacle course. And if she runs the course and passes it and doesn't die, then he'll let her go free. So she does it with great difficulty, but passes the course. Here she is all at the end of it, bruised and bloodied. And then he's like, take her away to the dungeons. And she goes, but you said if I passed the course, I could go free. And he goes, I lied. And then just laughs.
Yeah.
I always love that line. But, I like Tim Curry as that big demon in Legend.
You've stolen my dreams away.
All things change, lady. The dreams of youth are the regrets of maturity. Dreams are my speciality. Through dreams, I influence mankind.
You know what I saw the other day
Cruise.
was it was Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. She's a scary villain.
In which one?
Fatal Attraction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's scary.
I'm not going to be
She
ignored.
is scary in that.
I know. A couple more questions and we'll take a break. Jeff, like your regroup. Have you ever been to a film location or set that was significant to one of your favorite movies?
Well, I mean, yeah, when I first moved to New York, probably the first time I was in Washington Square Park, and I was looking all around, and, I was like remembering Barefoot in the Park with Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, which is one of my all-time favorite movies since I was a little kid and first saw it on TV and realized that was the movie that made me realize the concept of, there's life outside of like Central Park. There's another part of the city called the Village where like kind of weird people live. And so that became my goal after that. I love that. And then like on a high school trip to Washington, D.C., we saw the Exorcist steps. And that was really cool.
That is cool.
We signed our
I
name.
saw them too. Yeah, that's a fun thing to do in a
It
boring
was the
town.
best. I liked it so much better than the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Monument and the we went to the Smithsonian and saw Archie Bunker's chair and stuff and Fonzie's leather jacket or whatever. So that was cool.
What are your top 3 films that have to do with revenge?
Revenge?
Yes, revenge.
Ooh. Revenge. I liked this made-for-TV movie long time ago, back in the 70s, that was written by Joan Rivers, and it starred Stockard Channing, called The Girl Most Likely To.
Stockard Channing, modern day Cinderella, who can't believe it. She's grown up, she remembers. And she's getting her revenge. But she's got it. She's the girl most likely to. Tuesday, 3:30 movie on Channel 7.
And it was about an unattractive girl who was made fun of by other girls in high school. And then when she got older and moved away, she got plastic surgery and, turned real pretty, turned into Stockard Channing. I Spit on Your Grave, and that's just gnarly. But that's a good one for revenge. Icky, but it's good that way. Revenge. Well, I guess in a way, Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme he was revenging. That's avenging, kind of, isn't it? Your brother's, his brother got crippled by that.
I'll count it. I'll allow it.
Okay.
Seems like all those 3 movies, Bloodsport, they were all about that, right? Kickboxer, Bloodsport, and Kumite. All right, Jeff.
Love that.
Which film do you think?
I love Bloodsport.
As do I. Which film do you think has the most quotable dialogue, and what's your favorite quote from it?
Yes, because Andy Warhol's Bad, I think, just has the greatest dialogue of all time.
Glenda, don't go to see your boyfriends tonight. Do your work.
Oh, this thing is so hot. I hate what that hairdresser did to my hair. You know, Mrs. Aiken, I just don't understand these girls who drop everything at the sight of a man. Glenda's always looking for a hard-on.
I don't like toilet talk in my kitchen. You girls are colorful. A lot of girls today are. But you all have to do your work when you're supposed to.
We'll do it tonight if Glenda can keep her legs closed. I'm sorry, Hazel.
Like every line. And running a close second to that is Serial Mom with Kathleen Turner.
Hello?
Is this the cocksucker residence?
God damn you, stop calling here.
Isn't this 4215 Pussy Way?
You bitch!
Now let me check the zip code. 212, fuck you!
The police are tracing this call this very minute.
Well, Dottie Hinkle, then why aren't they here, huh, fuckface?
Fuck you! Didn't I just say fuck you?
I beg your pardon.
Who is this?
Mrs. Wilson from the telephone company. I understand you're having problems with an obscene phone caller.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, Mrs. Wilson, but this is driving me crazy. I've had my number changed twice already. I'm a divorced woman. Please help me.
I'm a divorced woman. Help me. I love that line.
My new favorite one is from when we did The Lady in a Cage. Help! I'm trapped in a small private elevator.
Please help! I am trapped in small private elevator.
Private elevator.
Yeah, private. Okay, but you want help or not?
Sorry.
I don't care. It's private. Just say help. I'm trapped in a small and private elevator. Okay, we get it. You're rich. You want to help or not?
I'm calling for help from my deluxe slimline phone.
Small private elevator. All right, Jeff, one more question. Then we're going to take our mid show break.
Show break.
Show some clips. Show some ads. Who's your all-time favorite film critic? And do you often seek out their reviews when deciding what to watch?
Ooh, I wish they were still reviewing. I'm a real big fan of Molly Haskell, believe it or not, she was like the 60s and 70s especially. And I really enjoy her stuff, her books, that are mostly compiled of her reviews. And just every time they interview her for something, she can be counted upon with something interesting to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Where is she again? Where's she from?
I don't know, but she's got this
All
just beautiful southern accent when she talks too.
Yeah.
Reminds me of our own Sparkle.
Our own Sparkle Plenty, huh?
That's right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some research, find out where she is and what's her deal, and dig her up. And we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Jeff. Come on over here for a second.
What's up?
Look in there.
Pants.
Oh, wow, a car with pants.
Introducing the Levi's Gremlin with seats of the pants.
Look at this. Orange stitching and buttons.
It's even got the Levi's tab on the front seat.
The rest is pure Gremlin. Styling, economy, 6-cylinder engine, and it's backed by the buyer protection plan. Levi's Gremlin, the car that wears the pants. At your AMC dealer.
The car isn't bad either.
Hi, I'm Linda Blair, welcoming you to How to Get Revenge. Have you ever tried to change lanes on the freeway, but the idiot in the other lane won't let you?
Yeah, you!
Woo! Well, when he tries to merge into your lane, you block him out. Now you've had your revenge. I'll give you a situation, and then I'd like you to respond with a method of male revenge that you would recommend.
Okay, shoot.
What can you do to disrupt the entire family as opposed to just the mark?
Put them on offensive mailing lists. Put them on the Communist Party's mailing list.
My former boss fired me for no damn reason whatsoever. So I put his name in the obituary column in the newspaper. And making sure that he received it, I mailed it to him with a note saying, someone out there is watching you. Then every time that phone rang, I can just see how paranoid he really was. Then I put an ad in one of those gay magazines and put his name and number, and that worked in several levels.
Everybody has a mailbox, and everybody reaches for their mail. Who says you can't put more than mail in there, huh? How about some pancake batter? And you know what you can do with that hose? You can run it right into the mail slot, right there. You turn it on, you split the scene, Captain Happy comes home, and he can paddle his way to the telephone. If he has a pool, and you can get access to it without anybody seeing you, whew, what a gallon of cooking oil wouldn't do for that pool.
Hello?
Yeah, is this Linda Blair?
Yes?
Yeah, Linda, my name is Rick. Listen, I was driving down the street past your house a few minutes ago, and I saw some smoke coming from your house.
Oh my gosh! Oh, well, thank you for calling. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I have to go. I hope you had fun. Bye!
Oh, those kids don't know what they're getting into. What a great premise for a film.
You're under arrest.
What? What the hell are you talking
Tell
about?
it to the judge. Hello, my name is Kevin Bacon. What you've just seen is a dramatized reenactment, but the intent is real. Talking and texting during a film is a crime. Don't let that happen to you.
Keeping this a secret for years, but I think it's finally time to come clean. I don't like your attitude.
Hey, it's me talking, the Fonz Pinball. Wanna play me?
Play the Fonz Pinball, a rugged machine with plenty of fast action.
Pretty slick, huh?
The Fonz Pinball is the real thing, with drag strip raceways. Lots of bumper action, too. Watch those independent action flippers.
Perfect.
Bells, lights, real scarring. The Fonz Pinball Machine.
Hey.
By Coleco.
Welcome back. I wanted that Fonzie pinball machine so bad.
I want it now.
Oh man, it's fucking
I
cool.
never heard of it or saw it.
Oh,
I want it now, though.
It's fucking good, man. Happy Days had it locked in with the merch.
Oh yeah, they were good.
They really did. Remember, we had my cousin had the Happy Days board game, but that was one of those where they just like had a basic layout and they would put it Barney Mill or different strokes. So it was the game itself. Yeah, the game itself sucked, but
it was terrible.
I think they tried to do Fonzie. They tried to give him like a Evel Knievel like motorcycle thing once too. Because Evel Knievel was such a hit, even though he's such a piece of garbage.
Exactly.
You
He
know?
was the man. I always thought they should have like little hemorrhoid donuts that they like sit on it.
Hey there, cool cats and kittens. It's your old buddy Fonzie here, and I'm stoked to introduce you to the most righteous solution for a pain in the, well, you know. Say hello to Fonzie's hemorrhoid pillow. This turbo cushion is designed to provide relief and comfort, reducing pressure on those sensitive grapes. Trust me, I've been around the block a few times, and I know a thing or two about feeling cool and looking good, even when you're dealing with a not-so-cool problem that's tougher than leather. Tuscadero, that is. Don't be a potsy. With Fonzie's hemorrhoid pillow, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Literally. So don't wait any longer. get your Fonzie's hemorrhoid pillow today and sit on it.
Just pick up the phone and call this toll-free number now. Remember, you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, why not? If Marshall thought of it, he would have done it. Guaranteed.
Because I loved on Mary Hartman. The dad had one of those hemorrhoid donuts, and when he came home, he would put it down on the chair and it said, "Hooray, Daddy's home."
Did you have any? I had a Happy Days lunchbox. That was some good merch.
Yeah, I didn't have a Happy Days. No, I had a Partridge Family lunchbox.
Nerd.
I love them.
Nerd.
Partridge Family, no way. They're rock and roll, man.
Happy Days, baby. That's right. Thank you. All right, Jeff. So all right, enough. We found your girl Mary Haskell, so let's bring her to the stage.
Molly.
Let's bring up the scope. Boom.
Molly.
Yeah, Molly Hatchet. I thought you were talking about the great band from Canada. Molly Haskell. We have a picture of her in 2013. She looks great. She's 85 today, and she's still alive. 85 and kicking live. Molly Haskell.
Molly, long may you wave.
Molly Haskell started her career with the Village Voice doing theater reviews. And then she moved over to New York Magazine and Vogue doing film reviews. And she would know a thing or two about revenge. She wrote this book called, what was it called, Jeff?
Revenge, like women from revenge to rape.
From revenge to rape, women in movies.
Yeah, how they treat women in movies.
I'm going to get it right. From revenge to rape, treatment of women in movies.
There we go.
So she would have a couple like good answers on
Choice
that revenge
nuggets.
question. Yep. So congratulations,
Choice
Molly.
DeWitt.
Molly.
Choice nuggets.
Molly Hatchet Haskell, and good luck to you. And we will try to get
we
her.
Love her. She had the greatest little southern accent.
She did, huh?
Uh-huh.
How do you know? She would go on TV shows too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the best. She's a great interview.
Yeah.
She knows everything about movies, like where she can recall with a drop of a hat too.
Yeah.
And she'll just like tell you, and a lot of it is personal, just her opinion kind of thing. So she'll have little bon mot about her life in there.
Oh, before we start, I think I found my my soulmate, Jeff. I'm gonna play a quick clip for you. All right, you tell me what you think. All right, here we go. This is my I think I might have found someone special here, Jeff.
They say it happens fast in New York City. Everything's fast. The pace of life is fast. Everybody's fast. Everybody does things fast. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you think the pace of life in New York is fast?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I can't really stop to talk that much. I got to go to my aunt's house and I have a lot of things to do. My kid's got a baseball game later today and everything, and it's like today's a really busy day. So yeah, the pace of everything in New York is pretty quick. My name is Fran Capo, and I happen to be in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's fastest talking female. Well, I was working at WBLS FM doing the weather and traffic, doing this character June East, which was Mae West's long-lost sister. So I was doing like, today the weather and traffic is, and I used to do that whole thing. And then what happened was this lady from the Daily News called me and decided that she wanted to like follow my career. So she did this. She did a whole write-up on me, and then so she said, "What are you planning on doing next?" So I said, "Well, I think I'm going to break the Guinness Book of World Records for fast talking." She printed in the paper, and the very next day, the Larry King Live people called me up on the show and asked me to break the record. I didn't even know who Larry King was. I was like, Manhattan Cable, what is this, some kind of porn channel or something like that? So I wasn't sure. So I went on the show and I broke the record doing 585 words in a minute. And then since then, I rebroke it doing 603.32 words in a minute. Okay, I do a thing I call Evelyn Wood reading her kids a bedtime story. Okay, kids, mommy's gonna read you.
Bye. How annoying is that fucking bitch? She's the female equivalent of me.
She's great.
Keeping this a secret for years, but I think it's finally time to come clean. I don't like your attitude.
All right, Jeff. So let's get back to the questions here. The people demand it.
Yes, they
Let's
do.
see if you can be my own little Molly Haskell. Okay.
Okay.
So let's.
I'll do my very best.
Thank you. Welcome back to Inside Glenny Boys Studio. That's it.
This is on.
Yeah. Settle in. Sink into the magical sounds of Glenny Boys Studio.
This is Stevie Wayne, your nightlight.
Hey, welcome. I'm the Nighthawk. Jeffrey?
Yes. it.
Do you have a go-to film genre? And if so, why do you enjoy it so much? And if you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Got to be honest with our people here. They don't accept falsities.
Yes, no, I like
fallacies.
I like kind of
fiction.
mystery, fun things like that.
Yeah.
Those are kind of my favorite. Like a little bit of comedy, a little bit of mystery. Like Goldie Hawn, foul play, that kind of thing.
Amuse bouche.
They don't usually show bouche in those.
The Amish bouche. You saw Amish bouche once, didn't you? You saw Witness. All right, Jeffrey. Let me ask you this. Answer me this, Jeff.
Riddle me this, Batman.
What's the best film trilogy, and why do you think it holds together so well?
Trilogy. Gosh. Huh. Well,
yes, Jeffrey.
I'm trying to think. Trilogy. That's hard.
From mine, I would say mine is Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before
whatever.
whatever.
I haven't seen all
That
those
is
yet.
Money in the Bank. Ka-ching.
I know. I saw part 1 and part 3.
Ah, it's
But
gold.
I've still never seen part 2 yet.
It is gold, gold, gold. You want me to come back to that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then answer me this, Jeff, if you're so smart. Okay. If you could collaborate with any filmmaker on a project, who would it be, and what kind of film would you make together?
Gosh. Oh. Sorry. I think I would like to make collaborate with like Robert Rodriguez and just make some down and dirty, shit kicking fun, adventure romp kind of movie with lots of good food in it.
Sounds good to me, Jeff.
Yeah.
I like to see that.
Yeah, me too. A lot of rice and beans, a lot of, bean burritos, that kind of thing.
Have you ever found online a hidden gem that you haven't known? I doubt it because you've seen over 200,000 hours.
I do. Yeah,
all right.
I get turned
Then
on
go
to
ahead.
movies all the time. Yeah, because there's just so many, and a lot of times they'll be British.
Yeah.
Although I was lucky when I was a kid, for a period of a couple years there, the CBS late movie had a contract with I don't know who in Britain, but the movies they would show would be these British movies late at night, and the majority of them were horror, Hammer horror movies and stuff.
Right.
And so I was watching them all the time, but there was some comedies there and this and that, but I found a lot of hidden gems that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear me or did you?
What?
Okay, I think we might have to call it a day. Time for Grandpa's nap.
No.
What film has the most memorable opening scene?
Oh, God.
You're falling asleep. What the hell what do you think the listeners are doing?
I didn't fall asleep. I started thinking about it and then forgot what I was thinking about. I like the opening scene to Blowout, where they're making that really cheap horror movie, and they're going around through each room in the girls' sorority, and seeing all this monkey business going on, and then it finally gets to the shower, and he rips open the shower curtain and is gonna stab the girl, and she lets out that awful scream.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah, and the whole movie kind of builds from that because it's the search for a good scream. And boy, they give him one by the end.
All right, Jeff, 2 more questions on this Inside Glenny Boys Studio. The penultimate question.
And now for all you knowledge seekers, here's Mr. Know-It-All.
All right, Jeff. Well, I guess we're closing this down. Must be nap time for you, my friend.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
One more then.
Okay.
Just for you. So if you are in the theater and people are talking around you, what's the best approach? Especially we live in New York, you never know these crazies, but people are talking. This movie starts. Now, what is the best thing to say to one of these chatty Cathys, one of these motor mouths? Jeff.
Yeah. Didn't I answer?
What's the best movie to go to sleep to?
Oh.
How about that? Now, what's the best? What's the best way to tell someone to shut up if they're talking in a movie theater?
That's really hard because you never know who's capable of violence. You know, otherwise a direct shut up. You know, I love that. Although from the opposite approach is probably the funniest from Andy Warhol's Bad, where the 2 sisters are talking, Geraldine and Maria Smith, and the girl leans forward and she goes, "Are you girls going to talk through the whole movie or what?" And she goes, "Fuck you. Shut up. How'd you like a punch in the face?" That never fails to make me laugh.
He hasn't wished he would already. You guys gonna talk through the whole movie or what? Fuck you! Shut up! Want a punch in the face? I can't stand staying in that apartment one more night. That jerk is driving me crazy. I like him. He's good to me. I'll be right back. I gotta take a leak. Hey, bring me back a Coke. Shh. Yourself.
All right. Thanks again for joining us inside Glenny Boy Studio. We're going to get Jeff some magical pixie dust.
I wish.
Pep him up a little bit, and we will be back before too long. Thanks again, Jeffrey.
Thank you. I'm so sorry I was deeply in thought for just a moment.
All right. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you. I had a blast.
Happy time.
Newport News police are still looking for the woman who slapped a teenager inside a local movie theater. It happened at the Regal Kiln Creek Stadium 20 on Regal Way Saturday night. Now, police say the teen and her friends were talking on their cell phones during the movie when a woman asked them to be quiet. The teens would not stop, and that's when police say the woman hit the 13-year-old girl in the face.
Shut up.